Round 9 of Super Rugby for footytips.com.au. Greg Growden alongside Sam Bruce. Greg, we kick it off this week with the Blues and Brumbies over there at Eden Park. I smell an upset.
Yeah, this is an interesting round. I think this is a round where there could be some real strange ones. And you're right, if the Blues are going to win one, it's going to be this game. They're slowly building up steam. But I'm going to stick with the Brumbies. I think just the quality in them will get them over the line. But you're right, value bet is the Blues.
Moving on to Saturday, it's the Crusaders and Highlanders at Amy Park in Christchurch. The second Southern derby for the season. The first one was pretty close with the Crusaders just edging it. How do you see this one?
I've gone for the Crusaders, but I'm not confident, primarily because they're coming back from South Africa, where they had a bit of a up and down tour, and the Highlanders are coming back from the bye. I'm just going home ground here, nothing more. But again, touch and go this game, and I just think, again, like the Brumbies game, I think class will just get them over the line, the home team.
Of course, Dan Carter left South Africa early for the birth of his second son. Fox William, I believe, he'll probably come back in at number 12 outside Colin Slade.
Who, Fox or
Dan.
Dan, yeah, I'd say so. I think Carter will come back at 12, and that's why I think with those two together, I think that will just get them over the line against the Highlanders.
Following that game, it's the Waratahs and Stormers at Allianz Stadium. Another good game. Waratahs had the bye last week, while the Stormers, they really finished strongly against the Hurricanes, but sort of left themselves too much to do. Exactly.
This is the match of the round. The reason why I'm going for the Waratahs is because South African selectors have given them a favour by saying that Dwayne Vermeulen has to go back home. And I think with him out of the Stormers team, it just gives the Waratahs that edge. The Waratahs are slowly getting it together. Again, another tight one, but I'm going to go the Waratahs alone.
Likely to still be no Adam Ashley Cooper in that one, still a couple of weeks away with that knee injury. The Force and Cheetahs over there in Perth at NIB Stadium. The Force had the bye last week after a fruitless trip to South Africa, while the Cheetahs, they just can't wait to get home.
They can't wait to get home, and yeah, it's been a pretty rough road too, and it won't help there. I think the Force, again, a week off. I know they haven't got much. They've basically got Ben McCalman and 14 other blokes, but I think at home, getting a bit of steam back, but again, it's going to be a tight game, but it's not going to be a fun one to watch.
Moving on to South Africa, it's the Bulls hosting the Reds over there at Loftus. The Reds, they're still winless in their last 5, I think it is. They move away from home. It could be the best thing for them.
It could be, but geez, they haven't got much left. You know, Horwell is not there. He had the suspension, and Richard Graham said there's no point taking him. With no Quade Cooper, it's a real band-aid team. And I just can't see them getting anywhere near the Bulls up in the Veld. I know the Bulls are a pretty average team, but the Reds, I don't know what they're going to do at number 10. You know, if they go with Nick Frisbee again, you know, he came on for the last 10 minutes and he obviously thought his inside centre was out in the crowd. He threw a couple into the grandstand. So it's bad times for the Reds.
We spoke about James Horwell earlier in the year. What's going on with him? It almost seems like it's got worse. Is there something off field we don't know about?
Well, it's crazy. I know that I think he's been given a wind-up by Michael Checker, basically saying you've got to pick up your act or you won't be in the World Cup squad. I can't see him making it because he had that brain explosion against the Brumbies early in the year, and to get a red card, I know there's been some Queensland media people saying he was unfairly dealt with. Look, he did go in with a swinging arm. It was unnecessary, and the referee got it right. So, I just can't see him making the World Cup squad at all.
Wrapping up around 9, it's the Lions and Sharks at Ellis Park. They're in Johannesburg. The Lions, they've now gone 4 straight, while the Sharks, they lost Jean Daisel overnight for 7-week suspension, and they're playing some pretty ordinary rugby this year.
Playing terrible football, but for some weird reason, I'm going to tip them. I've just got a feeling this is one of these weird games. The Lions are going through this extraordinary stretch of wins, which they're not used to, and I think it's got to fall apart eventually. I'm just going for value here. I'm going to go for the Sharks. I might be an imbecile, but I'm going to stick with them. I don't know why.
Wrapping up around 9 then, Greg, your tips are the Brumbies, the Crusaders, the Waratahs, the Force, the Bulls and Sharks. And if we take a look at the overall ladder on footytips.com.au, it's Peter Alevizos sitting at the top of a 5-way split, only on margin, while Bomber and Bill Vass, they're back.
You've got to admire Bomber and Bill Vass to be so consistent this year, because we're suddenly getting a few upsets and they're on fire. So I think people might be trying to sneak in and see what Bomber and Billy are doing each week and following them, because you've got to admire them. It's a fair effort to be still there.
And looking at the ESPN Scrum Superstars League, it's still Paul Marclue out on top. He's 6 points clear of our very own Nick Webber, while Brett McKay is up to 4th. Andy Withers tipped a perfect round to move up to 7th, while Greg, you're in 8th, I'm in 9th, and Brittany Mitchell, she's on the slide.
Early days. We've still got about 9 or 10 rounds to go. It's now what we do with our little jackpots and so forth. So, yeah, I like it. Hey, one out, one back, lap run.
Another big round of Super Rugby. Enjoy.